On my last video, I took a look at the new brushless W12. It's not M12, it's W12. The W is for Walmart. HyperTough brushless 12-volt impact driver, and it did fairly well, I think, in my opinion, compared to what previous HyperTough tools have done. It was decent, and we'll see over time how it plays out, but I had to go back and get this, the brushless drill version. This is the HyperTough. It is brushless as well. Same platform. I just had to get it. What is an impact driver without a companion drill? So before we can say if this thing is decent or not, let's take a look at the specs. The HyperTough drill weighs in at 2 pounds even, or 908 grams. With the battery, the HyperTough drill is about 7.5 inches tall. The drill is 7 inches long. There are 21 clutch settings, not counting the drill setting. And holy moly, there is a belt clip, as to pretend like this is professional. The tool has a battery life indicator built into the tool, similar to the Milwaukee M12 line. There is a small light located above the trigger. The drill has a 3/8 inch chuck, has a low speed of 0 to 450 RPMs, and a high speed of 0 to 1600 RPMs. Now let's check what the actual RPM measurement is and compare it with this. The low speed RPM maxes out just below 400 RPM. The high speed maxes out just shy of 1400 RPM. The minimum RPM in first gear was hard to measure with my tachometer, but looked to be around 40 RPM. I built a little apparatus here that tests how many foot-pounds these clutch settings will allow the drill to put out as far as torque. So we're going to start at the very first clutch setting. We'll test 2 or 3 of these settings to see if there's any reading on here. Here's the first setting. 0 foot-pounds. Next, I'm going to try halfway up at 11. 0 foot-pounds. And now the maximum of 21. So it looks like we were right in there at 1.6, 1.7 foot-pounds. We did do this test on first gear. Now my little Walmart drill has about a 0% chance of driving this lag screw in. It is rather large and rather long, and the drill is not built for it. But I want to test how much torque it can build up while trying to drive it in. So I want to put the torque measuring device here in line with this screw, and let's see how far we can drive it in and how much torque we can build up. I will pre-drill the hole a little bit just to make it a little bit easier to get started. I have our device hooked up to the drill. I'm going to put it onto the lag screw, turn it on, and it will record our maximum torque. We do have it in first gear. So at 3 turns, it's 4.7. Let's give it another one. 6.8. So 6.8 is the highest number that I saw. So 6.8 is a relatively low measurement. If we got another drill out here, like one of the 20-volt drills, we'd see a lot higher number. So let's actually check that. Let me get the Hercules, which is a brush drill. It is 20 volts. We'll put it in first gear. We'll see what it does. Just for reference, the Hercules battery is fully charged. I make sure all the batteries are charged when I do the test. Here we go. 14.5. I'm not going to push this one too far because on a brush drill, they may not have the safeties that a brushless drill has, and we'll end up smoking it up. I'll give it one more and we'll see what it does. Man, a little bit left in it. 15.4. So that's about almost triple the 12-volt Walmart drill. One of the most common fasteners I use are these T25 construction screws. So I'm going to test a couple different drills, maybe 3, maybe 4, side by side, putting in 5 of these to see which drill can do it the fastest. I'll use high speed unless a drill is not capable of high speed. 1, 2. The rigid old bird. 1, 2. The brushed 12-volt Hercules. 1, 2. Well, we know who the slowest is. It's this one. The 12-volt brushless skill. 1, 2. I just have a feeling this one's the winner. Just call it a hunch. Now I'm going to see how big of a Diablo self-feeding paddle bit can this drill handle. We'll start at the smallest and we'll go as high as we can. 1/2 inch. Speed 2 ain't going to happen. All right, that seemed like a tough battle. Next up is 9/16. All right, well, it got it. Let's go up one more. 5/8. Start talking like the guy in Platoon now.
I got a bad feeling on this one, all right?
All right, here we go. Just so you guys know, I'm not putting a whole lot of pressure on this drill since it's a self-feed bit. Let's back it out. Oh. Wood's kind of sticking to it. Let me try it again. Hot and smoky, but it did make it through. You see there's one battery down there. Oh, it's back. It's back. The voltage drops while you're using a tool, and I guess it kind of rebounds once the tool is not being used any longer. Just like when you have any current draw, the voltage will drop until the current draw subsides. And I guess we just caught it. Still dropped a little bit, then rebounding. Let's try one more size up just for the heck of it, although I think we pretty much reached the maximum usable level of this tool. Just for craps and giggles, go ahead and get a new battery here just to make sure. All right, 9/16, here we go. Well, all right. It made it through. Maybe we had a tough spot in the wood right here somewhere. I don't see anything right there. I got worried for a second and I realized the tips of these nails right here don't go all the way back to where these holes are being drilled. 3/4, or this ought to do it.
I don't think I'm gonna make it out of here. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Well, we made it through that one. It wasn't easy. I'm kind of tempted to go up one more. I'm going to go ahead and go up one more, guys, because I just want to see what this thing will do. I'm going to skip ahead to the 1 inch. This is the biggest one of this set, and it'll be a hard go for this drill with the 1 inch.
I got a bad feeling.
Just making sure. This stuff is getting stuck on this bit really bad. It made it through. I'm actually pretty impressed there. Surprised it made it through, and I'm wondering if it's just these bits or what. Let me switch to a different brand bit. We'll see if it does better going through this wood. This wood's really soft, or it's real soft. It looks real soft. This is a 1 inch spider self-feed paddle bit, slightly used. I'm not even going to continue with this because it's the exact same problem. It's just this wood, I reckon. So that's pretty good. It got through it pretty decently. Let me slap this in the old skill. We'll see what difference that makes.
He's dead, Jim. He's dead, Jim.
This is a really interesting issue that's popped up here. I have it set on first gear. When I press it down real hard, it wants to kind of slip toward the second gear. This switch actually moves. What I'm going to do is just zoom in on this switch while we're in action so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's only when I press down really hard on the drill, which probably isn't advisable, but it's also an interesting development for when I'm actually doing that, because we all do that. When we're trying to get something drilled through, a hole drilled out. Sometimes we put a little bit of elbow grease into it. This is what happens. And now I'm not hardly pressing on it. Very interesting development. This drill was purchased within the last year or so from Lowe's as part of a kit. And I've been real impressed with it so far, but it will be interesting if this continues to happen in regular use. The big surprise of this video is that the skill drill broke during the testing, and it is what I think my best 12-volt drill right now. It's brushless, it's relatively powerful, and it's almost comparable to the M12 fuel that I did used to own. I'll probably buy another set of them now that they have a new generation. Compare these with those, but I can assume the fuel is going to beat the drills that I have in this test and previous tests pretty handily, probably. As far as the HyperTough, I thought it was pretty decent. It beat the Rigid, it beat the Hercules, but the Hercules is just really, really, really bad. It's just really bad. Not like their other products are bad. They're not bad per se. Most of the other products that I've tried are decent or good. This one just is not. It's way behind the pack. The Rigid is one of my older drills. It's brushed. It did beat the Rigid. So if I had to categorize the HyperTough, I would say as far as brushless 12-volt drills, it's going to be near the bottom as far as power and features. I do like how light it is. I do like how it feels in your hand. But over time, I'll be able to see if there's any idiosyncrasies or flaws that appear in everyday use. Just like those comfort things that pop up, guys. We all know what we're talking about. Whenever you have 20 drills, there's a powerful drill like the M18 fuel drill. Very powerful. But if you're in the shop, is that the one you actually reach for most often? I've used those Hercules drills quite a bit because I don't need a lot of power for a lot of the tasks that I do. So they come in handy. So the most powerful drill isn't necessarily the one you need the most at the shop or want the most at the shop. Over time, you figure those things out. And as far as reliability, you figure that out over time as well. So the HyperTough was decent. I thought it was adequate. I didn't think it was as good as the Impact driver was, but over time, we'll see how it plays out here in the shop. I appreciate each one of you guys watching. If you enjoyed the video, put a like on it. If you're not subscribed and you want to see more stuff like this, go ahead and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one.